unique, but at the same time, like I have to be comfortable wearing it. So I think we kind of like, you kind of take what you know you're comfortable in. Like obviously I play in a lot of Kobe's, but I don't, at the same time, I don't want it to be a Kobe. I want it to be something very unique to me and a little bit different. And I think for myself, like, you know, I kind of think about like what's kind of been important to me when I think about like shoes or sneakers. And I think like just the chaseability of them, and like you want a certain sneaker or like you want a certain colorway. So I think that's like going to be probably the most fun part. Like, okay, great. Like you have like
the WNBA spent 27 years battling for mainstream attention. Now they finally possess a superstar attracting millions of viewers and massive revenue. Yet curiously, the league office is throwing a public tantrum. Stephen A. Smith just revealed something truly wild. The commissioner might actually be attempting to sabotage her own primary source of success. This isn't strictly about basketball anymore. This is about ego, authority, and blatant corporate envy.
Here it says, Caitlin Clark's anticipated Nike signature shoe is expected to launch in spring 2026. Nike's signature roster features all-time greats, and I am incredibly proud to join some of the best athletes in the world. I'm excited to share a first look at what we've created together. Y'all should have did this. We're going into year 3. Y'all should have did this year 1.
Has the WNBA management completely lost their perspective? Or is this the most transparent self-sabotage in the history of sports? Leave your thoughts in the comments section. So let's dive into what actually transpired here, because this entire situation is genuinely baffling. Reports began surfacing regarding a new advertisement featuring Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever star. Nothing unusual about that, right? Wrong. Apparently, this commercial sent WNBA Commissioner Cathy Engelbert and the entire league office into a total meltdown state. We're talking closed-door sessions, furious phone calls, and what Stephen A. Smith describes as absolute rage from the executive level. Now, pause for a moment and consider how backwards this truly is. Your biggest star secures a massive national commercial that places your league in front of millions who might never observe women's basketball otherwise. The standard response from any competent sports body would be celebration. Pop the champagne, issue a press release, amplify it on social media, and ride that momentum all the way to the bank. But not the WNBA. Their reaction was apparently bitterness and resentment. Stephen A. Smith didn't just speculate about this. He essentially confirmed it. He has been one of the loudest voices defending Caitlin Clark all year. But his recent remarks took a much darker turn. He is not just talking about on-court friction anymore. He is exposing what he views as fundamental rot in the league's leadership. According to SAS, the atmosphere coming from WNBA headquarters isn't a celebration of their newfound glory. It is fear and jealousy, because one player has become larger than the entire organization. Let's analyze why this commercial specifically sparked such chaos. When Caitlin Clark appears in these high-budget advertisements, whether it is Wilson, Gatorade, or State Farm, she is not framed as just another WNBA player. She is presented as a cultural phenomenon, a singular force. The production value is incredible. She looks powerful, independent, and most importantly to the league office, bigger than the WNBA itself.
I mean, like when I first saw that online, I was like, oh, that's like gotta be fake news. Like, cause there's so much fake news out there these days.
It was definitely an AI clip in my mind, or I was just like, there's no way he's really about this.
What?
Somebody's being funny. And then it was.
And they should have won the first game he played in at Seattle.
They were winning when he walked off the field.
Yeah, they made the kick, the long field goal. I turned the game off actually, cause I was watching the game. I was like, oh, that's great. Like he won, like cool. What do you know? I like checked the box.
For fans, this is amazing. It is exciting and makes you want to watch basketball. But for executives like Cathy Engelbert, This represents a total loss of control. See, the league did not create that image. They did not authorize the creative vision, and they cannot control the narrative. When the commissioner sees Clark in these polished ads, she sees a player who doesn't need the WNBA to survive. Clark has her own economy, her own gravitational pull, her own empire. The rage that Stephen A. Smith keeps mentioning stems from this total loss of leverage. Usually, professional sports leagues control their players because those players need the league for their paycheck and exposure. Caitlin Clark has completely bypassed that traditional dynamic. She is making more money off the court than on it, and everyone knows it. That financial independence translates to power, and power makes people uncomfortable, especially people used to being in charge.
Well, what can't she do? Caitlin Clark is now a Nike basketball signature athlete.
Yeah, the WNBA superstar is unveiling her very own logo. Take a look at this. I want it. Whatever it is, I want it. It's two interlocking C's designed to reflect her confidence, power, and connection to fans. She is an elite company. Only a handful of other players in history, like Michael Jordan, LeBron James, have had their own Nike line. The first t-shirts featuring the logo go on sale September.
Insiders suggest the timing of this particular commercial really set things off. The league has been desperately trying to push a collective narrative all season. They keep reminding everyone that it is not just about one player. They want you to focus on the history, the other players, the system itself. Then, boom, this commercial drops and absolutely obliterates that messaging in 30 seconds. It reminds everyone watching that there is one person actually driving interest in this league, and it is not the commissioner. It is the girl from Iowa who can drain shots from the logo. The contrast between the WNBA's outdated, low-budget marketing efforts and Clark's premium brand deals is genuinely embarrassing for the leadership. That embarrassment is turning into anger because it exposes their failure. For 27 years, the WNBA struggled to gain mainstream attention. Then one player shows up and accomplishes in one season what they could not do in nearly 3 decades. That has got to sting. Stephen A. Smith has been absolutely relentless about this. He has pointed out the absurdity of having a commissioner who is supposedly a business expert acting emotionally compromised because one player is getting too much attention. His argument is that the rage is actually covering up incompetence. Every time Clark lands another massive deal or stars in another viral commercial, it highlights what the WNBA failed to do for all those years. Think about it from Kathy Engelbert's perspective. You are the commissioner. You are supposed to be the business genius who grows the league. Then Gatorade, Wilson, and State Farm all do a better job marketing your sport than you ever did. That is humiliating. It exposes you as not being very good at your job. So instead of learning from it, instead of hiring better marketing teams to match that energy, the response is apparently bitterness and resentment.
I'm getting me a pair. I don't care what I gotta do. I don't care if I gotta sleep outside the mall for a day. I'm getting me a pair of Caitlin Clark shoes. I missed out on all the PEs. When the real deal come out, I'm getting my pair. And if you wear my size, don't let me see you. And I don't have, no, I'm just playing. But no, that's incredible. Then they gave out these, here it says Nike sent out Caitlin Clark from Anywhere promo packs. This is kind of hard too. See, man, I don't know how am I not on this list of people? Come on, CC, man. We got to talk, man. We got to break bread and figure this out. This is nuts. Don't open me till Christmas. That's fire. Wow. Let me see.
No one anticipated this. No leaks, no whispers, no alerts. Suddenly, the sports media world went still. Per several reports, Caitlin Clark shocked Sophie Cunningham by facilitating a $25 million Nike contract. Not speculation, not a theory. An action so sudden it baffled athletes, fans, and industry experts. The response? Critics had a massive breakdown. WNBA officials stayed mute. The web posed a single query. How did Caitlin Clark alter the industry while remaining silent? Watch until the finish because this tale becomes more complex, gritty, and influential. To grasp why this event is vital, you must recognize Caitlin Clark's status. She did not simply join the WNBA as a newcomer. She arrived as a phenomenon. Viewership trailed her, backers trailed her, Nike trailed her. Each action she took held significance. Off stage, experts claim Nike was not merely gambling on an athlete. They were investing in the face of an era. Yet there is a vital point many overlook. Caitlin Clark never behaved as if she stood solitary at the peak. She observed who stayed by her side, who shared the struggle, who remained steady when events turned sour. One name resurfaced constantly: Sophie Cunningham. Sophie Cunningham was never a timid person. She competed fiercely. She voiced her passion. She offered no excuses for her aggression. That made her polarizing. Certain fans adored her. Others despised her. But sources say Caitlin perceived a deeper truth. She saw a peer eager to defend her crew, someone ready to handle the backlash, a person who stood firm under immense stress. Rumors imply Caitlin valued that immensely. Not openly, not for media, but in secret. As Caitlin's Nike sway expanded, that admiration shifted into Deebs. Now, the situation turns grave. Based on sources near brand talks, Caitlin Clark's Nike pact was not minor. It was not brief. It was not merely footwear. It involved infrastructure, marketing, future projects, and lasting brand authority. Experts allege Caitlin did something nearly unprecedented. She applied her influence, not to request higher pay, but to create paths. Reports claim Caitlin personally advocated for Sophie Cunningham, emphasizing her appeal, grit, and genuine nature. Nike paid attention. Since when Caitlin Clark talks in those meetings, people pay attention. When word of Sophie Cunningham's alleged $25 million Nike role emerged, the response was immediate. Athletes were shocked. Press was puzzled. Detractors became unhinged. How did she earn this? This is unjust. This is bias. However, experts countered softly. They stated this was not bias. This was a plan. Nike did not merely view Sophie as a player. They saw a story. They saw a foil. They saw rapport. They saw an element fans could sense. Caitlin Clark assisted in making that concept reality. The internet erupted. Forums became poisonous. Opinions flooded every feed. Yet here is what infuriated people more than the agreement. They were powerless to halt it. No penalties, no walkbacks, no spin. Since Nike works beyond league constraints, and Caitlin Clark, she stayed quiet. No posts, no pressers, no gloating. That stillness made enemies frantic. What surprised spectators further? The WNBA's response, or the absence of one. No grand party, no public kudos, no shared publicity, only silence. Insiders suggest that lull was intentional because this instance signified something awkward. An athlete forging huge prospects without league consent, still active, still battling, yet managing her own sphere. That change makes organizations anxious. Then the rumors started. Not verified, not formal, yet audible. Market experts started discussing Nike's permanent women's hoops strategy, a project alleged to reach billion-dollar levels eventually. Not a single pact, a crusade, with Caitlin Clark as the focal point. However, now she was not solitary. That is what rattled everyone. This was not merely about cash. It was about authority. Peers helping peers. Icons elevating icons. Sway being distributed rather than kept. That is hazardous to the legacy system. Since once athletes grasp they needn't delay, the norms shift. Caitlin Clark made no statement. Sophie Cunningham did not boast. They simply continued hoops. Occasionally, the most potent message is the one you leave unsaid. Now the query belongs to you. Was this devotion, guidance, or the start of a fresh age the WNBA cannot regulate? Post your views below. Like if you admire the tactic. Follow, as this narrative is just growing larger.